fortune favors the bold. I believe there's a biblical version of this principle too. Maybe the biblical version goes something like this. God carries out his work through believers who sees unexpected opportunities as gifts from God. Life comes at us fast, and sometimes a moment occurs where everything just seems to line up, where the door opens, and by faith we're called to walk through that door, believing that it's God who has somehow opened it. We see a picture of that in Ruth chapter 3, where Ruth takes a courageous step through an open door in front of her. The thing about Ruth is she was a foreigner and she was a widow. She didn't have a whole lot going for her, and yet this amazing moment comes to her and she walks through the door. To summarize the story so far, Ruth has come back from Moab, her homeland, with Naomi. Naomi's an Israelite, but Ruth has come home with her against all odds, out of loyalty and love to her mother-in-law. Ruth begins to glean in Boaz's field, picking up the kernels and leftover stalks of grain that have fallen to the ground. It's a hard way to survive, but that's how she has survived. Boaz, it turns out, is a relative of Naomi, and Naomi hatches a clever plan to have Ruth make her interest to Boaz known, because if Ruth can somehow marry Boaz, Naomi and Ruth will have a future. They'll be provided for. As two widows, they don't have many prospects for a future. So what happens is, Naomi says, why don't you go to the threshing floor, because Boaz will be winnowing his barley. And after he's done working, he's going to be tired, he's going to lay down, and you need a place that's quiet and where you can be alone to make yourself known to him, because otherwise there's going to be a scandal because you're a foreigner. So Ruth follows the plan, at least part of the plan. She goes to the threshing floor, waits for Boaz to fall asleep, uncovers his feet, which causes him to get cold. And when he gets cold and wakes up, there's Ruth lying at his feet. And this is where Ruth departs from the script, because Naomi had said, Boaz will tell you what to do. Well, Ruth doesn't wait for Boaz to tell her what to do. She basically proposes to him there on the spot. Now you can imagine this was a traditional patriarchal society. Women just didn't really do that. And so here's Ruth, a foreigner, a widow, proposing to this esteemed man, an Israelite. It's a really courageous move. It's a plucky move. And it's a move that shows her love and loyalty for Naomi, because in choosing a man like Boaz, she didn't run after someone who was younger. She ran after a man who could provide for both her and her mother-in-law. That was the catch. Because he was a relative of Naomi, he knew that he could provide also not just for her, but for her mother-in-law. It was a loyal move, a courageous move, a plucky move, and it's a risky move. But Ruth sees the open door and walks through it. God blessed her in that. So may you this week, may you see these unexpected opportunities, these coincidences that God begins to line up for you, and may you, like Ruth, have the courage to walk through that door knowing that he will bless you. Amen.